Welcome to Lord Duncan and World. Today we've got a very special guest, Mr. OKC Joe, Viking fan from OKC, as well as OKC Wifey. He's going to just say a few words at the beginning. Let's both on right now.
Lord
All the way
Duncan
here from Oklahoma City. Good
Lord
old
Duncan.
OKC. How you guys doing?
Hi.
This is
Hi
an
there.
honor.
And what's the puppy's name?
This right here is Roxy. We're a boxer family.
We're a boxer rescue family. So we rescue boxers.
Well, I rescued this little Jack Terrier pug slash Chihuahua mix from all the way from Houston. I got her.
Well, those are the best. They're all mixed like that. They're the best. I love this shirt.
I love the jersey.
I want to get one for my Roxy.
Yeah, she's gonna go back over here. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, we're trying to make ours go over there too, and she's just as determined.
It's like we turned the camera on, and here she comes.
Yeah, she wants to be in the spotlight.
So how did you guys meet? Have you known Joe since his rock and roll heavy metal days?
Unfortunately, I never got that privilege. This is a funny story. I worked at FedEx Kinko's as a printing representative. He happened to see me one day and pretended like that he had the authority through his job to order business cards, contract, everything. He just kept every day bringing something new in. Well, can you do this? Can you do that? Never ordered anything from me, but would follow me around because I covered the state of Oklahoma, and he would follow me around to different.
That sounded stalkerish.
In a very sweet way.
Every breath you take. Yeah, there you go.
Well, we have a song. Cool. It's not that one. It's the Def Leppard song.
No, it's In Excess.
In Excess. Oh, yeah. I Saw You Standing.
Two Worlds Collide or something like that.
Yeah. That's our song. But then there's also Knock Down the... Anyway, it's a long story.
That's cool. And are you a Viking fan as well? Or did you grow up liking somebody else?
Well, I did not grow up in football. My dad liked it, but he was very loud, and so I didn't listen to football. But then I met my husband, and now I'm absorbed in all sports. So he loves all the sports.
Yeah, he's
nice.
But yeah, she's got many a jersey.
He's hooked me up to where I look the part. You know what? If you cannot be, what do they say? What's that saying? If you cannot be a sports
athletic supporter,
athlete. If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. So I'm the biggest supporter.
Very nice. Well, that's good. You've got that. He will put up with him in his little man cave out there.
We have a good time.
Seen on one bar.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like
we have a great time out there.
Looks like a great party room.
Yeah,
very nice.
Gotta get it. Every year I say I'm gonna get it insulated, and I don't. But we got plenty of heaters, so when it gets, we get below freezing down here, and we get a little bit of snow, but nothing like Minnesota. But sometimes when it gets about 30, 40, you really got to crank up the fireplace and the heaters and stuff and get it going. I can deal with it. She can't.
I don't like to be cold.
I hear you. I'm hoping this is my last winter here. I'd like to maybe go into.
Come on to OKC. Come on, we'll hook you up.
There you go.
We're Vikings fans in OKC, so you can come be that.
Hey, Iron Maidens are going to be here in January.
Very nice.
Do you like them, Iron Maidens?
Yeah, just saw them.
Okay, there you go. They're going to be here in January.
There you go. There's your reason to come to OKC. Hey, I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm going to head out, but it was such a pleasure to meet you, Lord Duncan.
He's all right.
Okay. Sorry, I was.
You guys have fun, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for letting me say hi.
Yeah, sorry about that. My that beer went down the wrong pipe.
All right.
I guess I was too anxious to get it in me.
All right. Now that she's gone, here we go. Now we can get started.
And I got one of those coming in the mail this week.
When's it gonna get here? Are you gonna have it on for Sunday?
Well, the following Sunday, yeah.
Following Sunday. Yeah, I think one bar freak out on it. It'd be great. You're gonna have to get you a hawk shot. So freak them out even more and go on. You can find a hawk shot on eBay too.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, that hawk glass, or do you already have one?
No, I don't have that yet. No.
Yeah, I guess there's
let me show you something before I forget. Did you ever see the original logo for my show?
I saw that. I saw that.
And
you've got a couple of them.
That was actually made by AI, but they put the wrong date. They put 2021 on there, so I was like, "Well, the hell with that."
No.
And then they wanted to start charging me like $30 a month, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can make my own logo.
Well, I'm going to get that shirt. We had a little trouble with Venmo, so I'm going to try to figure out something else.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. In fact, before I forget, I'd like to thank good old Harmsy for this nice gift I got in the mail this week. A nice Ryan James Dio Demon shirt.
Okay, well, that makes up for his AC/DC statement, but I like the Dio shirt. Seen him a few times here.
Actually, speaking of AC/DC, I just found out yesterday that I'm going to be seeing them on April 10th, where the Vikings play at US Bank Stadium.
Okay, they're not playing Target. They're going to play US Bank. Okay. That's going to be Axel singing, right?
Nope, Brian Johnson's back.
Brian Johnson. Okay, well, good. Axel drives me nuts.
And then I kind of hated him, but when he did fill in for Brian, and he did hit all the notes, and you could tell he was really fucking trying to be good.
Yeah,
I gained a new respect for that. I gained a new respect for Axel actually after that.
Well,
just my opinion.
I went to Metallica, Guns N' Roses. That was the opening. I was thinking about them yesterday. Faith No More.
ALICEINCHAINS? No,
it was Faith No More, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, that big thing that they did. And I went to Dallas Stadium and watched them. He just kept throwing a fit up there, and it's like, I come on, man. You got a whole stadium filled with everything. You're having a temper tantrum. You remember when they had all those riots and stuff back then when they were touring together?
Yeah.
It looked like he was trying to do it again. And it's like, I'm all the way down here. Another thing, I was on the floor. And I was about the 50-yard line. Of course, when you go in that stadium, you got to wear your Viking hat. So, I had to I'm walking around on Dallas Cowboys, watching Metallica and Guns N' Roses, and I had to wear a Viking hat in that venue. We snuck down to the floor. We weren't supposed to be there, but we got down there.
Nice. What? Let me go with my. We'll just do a rapid fire of like eight of these questions, and then we'll just do whatever we want. Okay. So where are you from originally? And you can make them just short answers.
Yeah, just Oklahoma City.
Okay. And your heritage?
I want to say it's kind of Irish. Okay. I'm Irish. I can tan pretty good, but I think it's Irish.
I won't ask you favorite music because I know you like lots of stuff that I do as well. But how about guilty pleasure when it comes to music?
See, I was going to bring that up later. You're getting into it. I was going to
No, save it. You know what? Save it for later. How about favorite food?
Mexican
nice.
Food.
Dream vacation or any vacation nightmare?
Oh, no vacation nightmare. Dream vacation is anything tropical, anything. Love going down to Mexico. Love going to Puerto Vallarta. All the typical, tourist. I don't want Cancun. It's too much like going to a resort. Yeah, so
I'm thinking about Belize, which is in South America, and the actual national language is English, and there's a lot of Americans that have actually moved there, and it's not as cheap as Mexico, but it's still 50 cents on the dollar, so your dollar's twice as much, not as much as in Mexico, but
Belize.
How about what kind of work did you do, or work these days, or stuff you did in the past?
Well, you've asked people, that first job stuff, slinging tacos at a taco stand. I don't know if you guys have a Taco Mayo up there. It's kind of like a Taco Bell. So I just remember being 16, just making nothing but burritos and tacos and doing that. And then later on, I got into, you guys were talking about pizza delivery. You and one bar in Lubbock is pizza delivery, and it's like, yeah, I did that too. Always had cash. Always had, running around delivering pizzas around OKC. And it's always, you get good tips during Super Bowl or World Series or NBA and stuff like that. You always got good tips that day. So I remember doing the pizza delivery thing.
Very nice. How about we'll skip golf bowling one. How about your first car?
79 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Nice.
Hey, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember? Right now they call them muscle cars, but in the early '80s it seemed like everybody had a muscle car because they were getting used cars. Sorry about that. I should turn that off.
Sure. We were all driving old Novas and stuff, and I had an old '75 Malibu, which is technically kind of a muscle car. It had a frickin' 351, and and so it had balls.
Yeah. So it seemed like everybody, getting cars in the '80s. You go get a used car and somebody already muscled it up, and so put 50s on the back or something like that. I did the same thing because we had a cruise here in Oklahoma City called Air Depot, and it got ranked like in the top 20 cruises in America. And they had a Showtime did a thing and came here. It took an hour to get down. It was 4 lanes, and it took an hour to get down one side. And that was pretty fun. High school, having everybody jumping out of everybody's car. Nobody's moving, so that was a lot of fun. So we'd always shine our cars up, get them air shocked, lifted everything up, and go and playing rat, something like that. Yeah, playing docking rat, going down the road. Back then it was like how black tinted your windows can get and how loud is your stereo in your car. Getting That's a right. Pioneer or a Jensen or something like that, and just having speakers.
Yeah, those are the names. Pioneer and Jensen.
Yeah.
Or what you remember? And then Alpine. Alpine was a name.
Alpine, and just get as much, and then I guess later on putting woofers in your trunk, stuff like that. So, Air Depot, Pontiac Grand Prix. There was a white one out there with 50s in the back and air shocked up, and here we go. That was me.
Wow, very nice. Looked like a drag car. Right on.
Looked like a drag car, but it just had the looks. It wasn't fast.
All right, I got 2 more before we go off the thing here. You got any pets or tattoos? I see you got one dog. Any tattoos?
I do have a tattoo. I'm trying to see if I can get this thing where I can show that. I have a Viking tattoo on my leg. It's just the Norseman, the Viking.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if I can be able to get my leg up here. But yeah, let's see if we can get that. What is? There it is.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting one of those on my neck. The minute they win a Super Bowl, one of those is going right out. I'm having right on my neck.
Yeah, and so I heard you talk about whoever the quarterback was or whatever. I'll put the Super Bowl year.
Oh yeah, I'll get their face. Oh yeah.
I was.
How about? Go ahead.
No, we were out partying one night, and we went to this big party, and the guy in the basement had a tattoo chair, and I was there, and it's like, hey, you want to get a tattoo? And it's like, oh, there's only one way I'll get that. It was a bucket list, and he just got on the computer and brought that thing down, pasted that thing to my leg, and just drew it up and did it. I bled so bad because we'd been drinking all night, and it just bled all over the place, but it came out pretty good. I need to go get it retouched up. But yeah, I knew one day I was going to get that, and it just kind of landed right in my lap. He didn't charge me for anything. He just did it. So I have a Viking. I have a Viking tattoo.
Very nice. Well, let's see. Before I forget, for all of us Viking fans and I guess Patriots fans and Raiders fans, I'm just going to show this Randy Moss crumb. Just want to say, everybody, say a prayer for Randy Moss. He's I guess they thought he had jaundice. His eyes were all yellow, which is either hepatitis and or pancreas, something with the pancreas. Either way, it's not good. I think the liver's involved when your eyes go yellow like that. And so let's all say a prayer for good old Randy Moss.
Jeez, I heard about that. how's it looking? Is they're just doing tests right now?
Well, he stepped away from his job for a while. I guess at one point he was wearing sunglasses the last couple of days, and he said, "Hey, people, I'm sorry, but I got health issues," and he wore sunglasses. Then finally, by the second day, I think people finally said, "Dude, you need to get that shit checked out."
Right.
Oh,
That was a cereal box, wasn't it?
Yep. Moss's. I wish I had done what I did, like with my Wheaties boxes, and put them in a nice big case. But oh well.
Is that the Wheaties box? Is that the twins back there?
Yeah, one from 91 and one from 87.
I have that box.
No, actually, no.
91. Yeah, when they're all climbing on top of each other, I have that box.
Yeah, actually, it's 91, and then the other one is the 95 one when Kirby and Dave Winfield both went in the Hall of Fame. So it's got Kirby on the front and it's got Dave Winfield on the back.
Oh man, I'm going to try to find that one, but I do have that other Wheaties box. In fact, I saw it today. There you go.
Being a good old Kirby.
Yeah, I ended up naming one of my dogs after Kirby. I mean, he's since passed away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I named one of my dogs Kirby.
I got this Kent Herbeck autograph card for $6 off eBay.
There you go. See, he was one of my. Who was left field? Was that Gagne? Who was that?
Yeah, Gagne, and he had or Gagne was shortstop. I think it was Gary
shortstop.
Was third. Wasn't it?
He had kind of the long hair.
Yeah, it should have been. I think shortstop was frickin' Greg Gagne.
Okay, yeah, he was one of my favorites.
And then I think Gary Gagne was third.
Maybe it was Gagne. I get those two confused. When Kirby
I have an autograph.
When Kirby hit that home run in that one game in that World Series, he was the one crossing home. So he was on base. I get Gagne and Gagne mixed up.
You might be thinking of Dan Gladden, who played left field.
Yeah, Gladden. That's
he had long hair. Yeah, he played left field.
Yeah.
He's our radio announcer up here for the Twins.
Is he now? Okay, that's pretty good.
He does a good job too. He was great.
So yeah, he was on. He had long hair. So that was who's that?
That's an autograph. Burt Blyleven, one of 199.
Okay.
So less than 200 made. And then I have a baseball autograph by the entire team, hand signed, not one of those manufactured ones. The entire team in '83. So it's got Viola, Gaetti,
how'd you get that?
My uncle, and he was friends with Dino Cicerelli, who was his neighbor. They both lived at Hazeltine National Golf Course. And Dino had a friend in the Twins organization. He got to go to some dinner one night, and he passed around the ball, and everybody signed it. I mean, it's got it literally Viola, Gagne, Gaetti, Herbeck, the entire '83 team. It's even got when he was the coach, and then Tom Kelly was just like the assistant coach.
Right.
So, and Lysander and you name it, dude, they're all on there. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Kirby.
All right. You got that in the case somewhere? You got that in the case? I do. It's in a case in a drawer out of sunlight. So there you go. Yeah, they'll turn around.
83.
There you go. So you're the man when
in fact, I can't even find it. I kind of hit it one day and I can't find it now. Out here somewhere.
I've got a Kirby jersey that I wear. The pinstripe, the 91 looking thing. Rod Carew fan, growing up as a kid. You remember those plastic helmets that got popular in the 70s and 80s? People would wear those plastic batting helmets. Yeah. I still got a few of those.
People would come up and hit on the top of the head, and it hurt like a mother.
It hurt.
Oh, don't do that. It hurt bad.
Yeah, I still got the one with the TC. It's an old one where their helmets were red with the blue brim and the TC. Sure. I got one that's got the M on it, so those are up in the closet. So yeah, golly,
I remember in RC Cola had all the Twins faces, all the Twins players on the hands, and it was a big deal when you got a Rod Carew can.
Oh yeah,
you remember?
See,
Royal Crown Cola.
He was great. The way he leaned over the plate, made the strike zone. He'd lean over that plate. I loved Rod Carew. That was great.
Well, he's still part of the organization up here. He's always around. In fact, Tony O is actually he gets paid by the team. He's like a consultant kind of, and he's here once all the time too. So good old Tony O.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that
he's not like a batting coach or anything like that.
I think he was at one point. I don't think he is anymore though. But I hope that the owners can finally sell this to somebody who really wants to spend money and actually make the team kick ass again.
Well, I don't want them to get in trouble where they were talking about moving from Minneapolis. I still have
that was way back in like 2004 before they won that series against Oakland. The Moneyball year.
Yeah,
that was right when they were thinking about moving. But then the Twins won that series against Oakland, and they're like, no, we're going to keep them there. Yeah, they almost got contracted right out.
Yeah,
the same. Well, it worked out to get rid of Montreal because there was just one too many teams. There wasn't an even number of teams on both sides. So,
right. Well, you got that. How's that new stadium? It looks fantastic on TV.
Oh, it's freaking gorgeous. It's a pleasure. It's easy to drive in off the highway. You drive in right off the highway into the parking garage, one of the 3 different parking garages, and then when you leave, it's easy peasy. You're right back on the highway as well. So, yeah, it's very it's a class act. It's number one. In fact, next year Daisy's going to go with me in her new Twins jersey that she's getting for Christmas.
There you go.
They have it twice a year where it's called Bark in the Park, and everybody takes their dogs. And then, of course, over the PA system, they play the sound of a doorbell ringing, like on every inning.
Yeah,
so all the dogs, just to get the dogs riled up. Yep, every they play a doorbell sound. Absolutely hilarious.
That's hilarious. See, the dream scenario, I think, almost happened with the Metrodome. Twins were in the World Series, so you can go to a Twins game and at night watch the Vikings. I remember they had to turn that stadium around real quick and turn it into a football stadium. So it'd be cool to go there for a weekend and go watch the Twins game. Somebody from Oklahoma City, you guys get to do that all the time.
Sure.
And then come over and that's a dream trip to catch both in one weekend.
It might be possible at the very end of the baseball season.
Yeah, so you go get to watch. Twins are going far. They're going to get past the Yankees for once. They're always getting knocked out by the Yankees, and it's like I always hate it. It's like, well, who's Twins going to play? The Yankees. Oh man, come on! I always hate when they got to play the Yankees. And then maybe the game's on Saturday and turn around and go to a Viking game on Sunday. So that's been a dream scenario of mine. I did go to the Dome. I did go that. I had to check out why when you open the door, you get sucked through. I always heard about that story. I did go to Winter Park and checked out the practice facility. But yeah, went to the Dome, ran around Mall of America, spent all kinds of money, went upstairs at the bars on the 3rd floor, right? Those bars still there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And what there
Hooters, Rainforest Cafe, Hooters, like a Stampede or a Cowboy place. So there's a rock and roll place. There's plenty of bars.
When I went there, it was Hooters, plenty Hollywood. It was All American Sports Grill or something like that. I think Dennis Green used to do one of his coaches' shows in that. And then it was kind of like a rock bar, dance club, that kind of thing. Hey, is that Cubert's place still across from the new stadium, or did that have to be taken out? Wasn't there a bar?
No idea.
There was a Viking bar across from the Metrodome. And I remember going there and getting some drinks and riding it up after the Vikings won. And it was like
I know that one. Yeah, I can't think of the name of the one, but one that's still there. I can't think of the name, Humphreys or whatever. But
Humphreys, some place called Cubert's, but everybody there was yelling and screaming and stuff like that.
There's a whole bunch of new stuff built down there right around it.
Now, when you go to a Viking game, I've seen you post some games. You and your buddies going to the game. Do you go to the tailgates and stuff like that and kind of get involved in that?
I have in the past. This last year, we were kind of running late. In fact, we were coming in on the train, and we didn't even have tickets until we were halfway there on the train. and and by then it was already like a half hour before kickoff, so we just ended up just going straight in.
Right.
Well, see, the tailgate thing. That's a blast.
Yeah, went to a Viking game in December. Of course, it was 20 freaking degrees out there, but we dressed for it. And I went to a Viking game in Dallas. Tavares Jackson was the quarterback. What it seems like in Minnesota, everybody just wants to join the party. Okay, so you're wearing another team's jersey. It didn't seem like, now if it was the Packers, I get it. Packers fans are crap. Even down here, you run into Packer fans. It's like just garbage. But it seems like everybody was nice, getting along, having fun, this and that. You go to another stadium, you go to the Dallas Cowboys game, their tailgates are awful. I mean, you're just walking in there with a purple jersey and you get guys all up in your face just yelling all kinds. It's like, I'm here to have a good time. You want to have a beer? Okay, so you're a Dallas fan. Great. I'm a Viking fan. You want to have a beer and talk about it? No, it's just yelling and screaming. Yeah. It's like, don't take any kids to anything like that. It's just, but maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see any of that. Maybe everybody was just too cold. Yeah, maybe everybody was just too cold. It was just, it just seems like everybody was hanging. Like, I follow, you might know he is Sir Death. He dresses in all that Viking stuff, and he's always posting and being at the tailgates. And it seems like people are dancing, having a good time, and people are in different color jerseys. And it just seems like the Viking fans are more, hey, come on, let's have fun. The other stadiums,
hey, Minnesota nice, dude. It's all about Minnesota nice, baby.
Yeah, don't go to the Dallas Cowboy tailgate. You'll get yelled at and ripped on. It's like, come on, man.
I wouldn't dare do it in Philly. The Philly fans, when they were in Minnesota that year, they won it all, and the Super Bowl was at our building, and they were playing us to.
I heard they were trying
they were fans yelling, "We're gonna rape your grandma," and they're saying that shit right in front of little kids.
Right, and it's like I saw them throw, cans of beer at people walking. You saw the cans of beer hitting the sidewalk and busting. I heard they tried to tip over the Viking bus while it was still in, the garage. Wow. So I heard all kinds of crazy stuff with Philly. That's someplace I would not go. I would love to go to a Packer game in Lambeau. I'd like to get a Viking hat and spray paint a cheese head and put it on top of the horns, purple. That would always be fun. But yeah, just wear a purple cheese hat on top of Viking horns or right to the side of a Viking horn. I'd always like to do that, but maybe the cheese. Well, man, like I said, down here you go to sports bars and you run into Packer fans. They're just it's like, look, they're just loud and they're just awful. I mean, I can't imagine what it is up there, but it's like just anytime you run into a Packer fan, it's just you don't even want to have a conversation.
Well, do you have you got to have at least one Viking bar, I would think, in town.
When I was younger, in my 20s, going to the bars a lot, I ran into people from Minnesota, and we went to this place called the Varsity Grill, and there were some people from Minnesota, Viking fans, and I would go meet them and hang out and watch the game. It was always disappointing to somebody would see me in a Viking jersey, say at a place like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. Hey, so what part of Minnesota are you from? It's like, I'm from Oklahoma City, but you can sit down at my table and have a beer if you're going to cheer on the purple. Well, of course we're here to cheer on the purple. Sit at our table. Get the more. I see somebody come in with a purple jersey or a hat. It's like, y'all can't sit over there. You have to come join our crowd. All right, we're going to get together for this one game. I'll never see you again, but you're going to watch this game with us today. So that's the way I always did it. If somebody was wearing purple, but it always disappointed people. It's like, what part of Minnesota are you from? I'm not. I was born in the wrong state. I was born in Oklahoma. I should have been born in Minnesota. But yeah,
it's okay. We don't care. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. So there used to be, get together with 5 or 6 guys. They were from Minnesota. They were in the military and stuff like that. So they end up moving away and moving on. And then you get older, you start having kids, start doing this, that, and all of a sudden that NFL ticket came on, and it's like, here we go. I can just stay right here. But I do miss going to the bars and watching the games. That way I can see that. That way I can see that Packer fan, that Bear fan, and just go, so how's your game going?
Now, speaking of awesome purple jerseys or purple shirts, you're rocking quite the nice Thin Lizzy there. What is your favorite Thin Lizzy record? Mine is Jailbreak.
Now, I was fixing to say Jailbreak. It has to be Jailbreak because those are the songs that you will hear on the radio a lot. They have an extensive catalog. Gosh, I think they got 14 albums.
Right.
It is a shame that they don't get played as much. Like in Europe, they get played all over. Here, they pick one or two songs. Boys Are Back in Town. That's all you'll hear here. You just get some of their albums, or what I say is just get like a compilation greatest hits thing, and that's what started with me. You started with that, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, these songs are awesome. These are great. How come these aren't being played on the radio? Well, they are, just in Europe. And so Phil Lynott, his band, Rob Robertson, you know, I mean, gosh, you got Gary, you got so much talent. Then you had the American guitarist in there, you know, and so it's just their sound is great. So I really got really heavy. The reason why I got really heavy in the Thin Lizzy is because the guys from the band says, "Hey, we're going to do the cowboy song," and I'm like, "Well, it's kind of soft. It's kind of this, but what you do is you kind of like what Anthrax did to it. You kind of roughed it up a little bit." So we kind of metallicalized it a little bit and just kind of gave it more punch. It was one of the songs that we saved towards the end of the night. We always ended our night with Seek and Destroy, Metallica. Always. Nice. Every night we got to end with that. And everybody loves that. So even though it's 1:30 in the morning, get the pit going. We're going to go. Because here we go. And all of a sudden he kicks into that lick and everybody knows that first lick. And it's like, here we are. And it's like, we always say that because I always have a tendency to break a string on that song. Always breaking a string on that song. Jeez.
Just a random bug gets you going, yeah. You're going to play a little harder than normal.
Yes, Seek and Destroy was always. We also, AC/DC, Have a Drink on Me. And it depends on which bar we at. They had pitchers of beer so people could come up to the stage and we pour a little beer in their mouth. If it was a good-looking girl and wearing something nice, we'd have them turn around backwards, pour beer in their mouth. Yeah, young guys, what do you do? Remember what girls were wearing back then. So
that's right.
Anytime.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got some down your cleavage. Sorry about that.
Yes. Now you got it. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah. So we would anytime we played that song, people were invited to, you know, pour a little beer in their mouth and stuff like that. White Zombie, you know, Thunder Kiss 65. I was going through what are some of the songs we used to do, and you know, of course, everybody's going to do Ozzy, everybody's going to do Black Sabbath and stuff like that. Our band was kind of
Section 8. Your band was called Section 8.
Yeah, so we people, I guess, can call it butt rock. I guess I liked it. We played it. You know, we were kind of Dockenish / you know, Skid Row-ish, right in that vein. But we like to go. We actually did Pantera, This Love, right? Take this love. That was in our arsenal. We always played. That was a Pantera song we did. Because when that song got going, here we go. Yeah, that was in Pantera. You know, they used to come up here before they really got big and play this place called the Diamond Ballroom. I saw Viking Funeral. He was talking about they were kind of a glam band before they got that new singer and went heavy. They used to come up here all the time and play. So we got to watch, you know, Pantera in its infancies before it turned into the monster that it was and turned into, you know, a global situation. Yeah. Here's a dime. Yeah.
Nice.
Dime bag. Fabulous.
Very, very cool that Eddie donated his Van Halen 2 guitar, which is now buried with Dime as well.
That's incredible. I saw that. That was incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't the red one. It wasn't Frankenstein, but it was that yellow freaking.
Yeah.
I think it was
he said he had a love-hate.
Gibson.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Bumblebee.
Gibson. The Hunter? No, the Hunter. Gibson. Gibson Explorer.
Yeah. He said he always had problems keeping that thing in tune. He was always battling that. They did a festival here. There's pictures of before it came. I don't know if you've heard of Rocklahoma. They used to do Rocklahoma and had a festival here. Pictures of him playing that. They played it where OU plays, stadium concert. So there's it was like Sammy Hagar, Van Halen, Pat Benatar, Doobie Brothers, you know, and it's like all day show. I mean, how weird is that little thing? Doobie
the only thing that kind of sticks out is the Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers, Sammy Hagar, Pat Benatar, Van Halen closes it.
And even Pat Benatar is kind of a little bit light compared to Sammy and Van Halen, but
it was like 78, 79 or something like that. Crazy.
Nice. I'm sure it was heavy as hell.
I was too young to go to that, but now they got Rocklahoma that happens out in Pryor, Oklahoma. Eddie Trunk always hosts it and stuff like that, and they get all the metal bands, the guys that all the hair metal bands, and get out there and do the stuff. I think I had Godsmack close it a couple of years ago. But yeah, Rocklahoma, it's a big outdoor festival that goes on for 3 days.
Sure. Well, I always like to hit down to Oklahoma. I always thought, shit, if I came across some cash, that'd be the place to get land, because you can get like 40 acres in a giant house for like $300,000 or something, you know. It's a
hidden secret. Oklahoma City is one of the fastest growing.
I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck. A lot of bang for your buck.
A lot of house for your buck. Everything.
A lot of house and land too. Yeah.
Yeah. You go to different states and it's like everything's twice as much. So Oklahoma City, it's a hidden secret. It's not just a place to stop and get gas. We have a metropolitan. We got skyscrapers. People just don't know because they go. We're right because Dallas kind of overshadows us a lot. So when you go to Oklahoma City, get gas, drive to Tulsa, drive to Kansas City. You just take that whole strip. But yeah, Oklahoma City. Who knew bringing a basketball team here would get us all this notoriety?
I was just about to say. I'm a big Timberwolves fan, and besides the Dallas Mavericks, the only other team that really scares me is OKC. They are freaking really good.
Shea Gilgeous. See, the thing is being a Viking fan, and you adopt the Twins. Of course, when I was a kid, I went for the Lakers because of the whole Minneapolis Lakers thing, and they were purple and gold. Then here comes the Timberwolves with KG, right? Kevin Garnett, right? So I became Timberwolves fan. I still got Timberwolves shirts in my closet. But then all of a sudden, you bring a team in. Now, I would never do this to the Minnesota Vikings if for some stupid reason in 100 years, Oklahoma City gets an NFL team. I would never change my loyalty for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, when it came to basketball, and you had, Westbrook, and you had this team come in and all of a sudden start making a name. So the Thunder, I mean, that's the show in town. Even when they sucked, They sold it out because, nobody's going to the OU games or the Oklahoma State football games or basketball games. We can all come together and cheer for this one team, which is the Thunder. And that hurricane messed up New Orleans. So, believe it or not, Oklahoma City was trying to get a hockey team.
Wow.
We had a what was it? Hockey A, B, C league. So there was about 5 or 6 teams around Oklahoma, Kansas, and in Texas. And so they had a hockey league, and that thing would be packed every night. Of course, it was a league that if you didn't see blood on the ice, it was a terrible game. You watch, what is that, slap shot? Very much like that type of hockey. And so the big wigs here in Oklahoma City, all the oil tycoons and whatever, it's like, let's build a new arena and try to get a hockey team here. And I can't remember. Is there a hockey team in Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah.
What are they?
The Blue Jackets?
Suicidal tendencies are here. And she goes, in fact, hold on. And she puts me on the phone with Dave Mustaine. Now, you got to remember, I'm in my house. I'm not expecting to be talking to Dave Mustaine. But what do you say when you go, hello, hello? And you hear his voice, and you're like, I don't know. So what do you say? Great new album, this and that. And after he handed the phone back to her, I go, you can't do that. You can't just put me on the phone with somebody like that because I'm not going to know what to say to this guy. Well, anyway, she goes, well, you need to get down here. They got a table. Nobody here knows who they are because they're at a gentleman's club. And they're just over there. You need to get down here. So I go down there, and they sit me down at the table, and there's what's the guy's name? The bass player for Metallica now, Trujillo or something like that.
It's Robert Trujillo.
Trujillo. He's sitting there.
Yeah, he was playing Suicidal probably.
Yeah, Suicidal. So we got the bass player for Megadeth. He's the reason why I got a Jackson bass. And Nick, the drummer, they were all just sitting there and just let me sit down and just start. You know, when you go in those situations, you got to act like you've been there. You got to be cool. You don't want to be a fanboy on them. Just be cool. Just hang out. I order a pitcher of beer, and Nick, the drummer for Megadeth, comes over and grabs my pitcher of beer. He goes, hey, how you doing? He goes, you look like you play. I had big hair, Aquanet hair, you know, all that stuff back then. So I pour me a glass, and he just gets it and takes off. He's gonna go watch, the entertainment, as you would say. So he leaves, and the guys go, he does that. So if you get a pitcher of beer, the best thing to do is just put it down by your feet, so he won't just come and grab your pitcher of beer. Here he's the rock star, and he's taking the local guy, taking my beer. So he takes off, goes enjoys the entertainment, tries to come back. He sits down, talks a little bit. I'm talking to the other bass player, Trujillo, and all of a sudden he looks at the TV, and he goes, "Holy crap! Do you see that?" And I looked at the TV. There was an MTV Music Awards or something like that going on, and he goes, "I love that band." Now, I'm fixing to tell you the name of this band that is my, what do we call it? Guilty pleasure. He looks at that TV and goes, dude, it's Duran Duran. I love that band. So I got Megadeth's guitar player looking at me going, it's Duran Duran. I love that band when I was a kid. I love that band. I'm looking at him. Are we fixing to do this right now? We're going to do this right now? I love that band. Yes, I play in a metal band, but for some reason, when I was a kid, seeing all those videos as a kid, back in the early 80s, it's like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I'm always sucked to bands who have really good bass players. The one thing you cannot say about that band is that bass player, the way that he does his thing and all those little things that he does in those songs. You can hate him, but you've listened to the bass run, you hear some good stuff. So I've got the drummer for Megadeth. Yeah, you got the drummer Megadeth having a conversation with me about Duran Duran. I just my guys in my band would not believe this right now. They're going to think I brought this up. He brought it up. So me and him had talked 15 minutes about Duran Duran. What do you say? It is real.
He dances on the sand.
No. We don't want to hear that. They have a lot of deep cuts, kind of like you with Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, you love all the songs, but they got their deep cuts.
I like everything I was a fan of the band as well.
Yeah, the Duran had a lot of deep cuts. Song 7, 8, 9, 10, not the Hungry Like the Wolf stuff. So anyway, that's my. For some reason, I like that band. And when I was a kid, you come into my room, you'll have Doc and you'll have Ozzy, and they're right there, right in the splash middle is Duran Duran. How does this work? They're good. I like them. What do you got? Go see them live. I think they played the bank not too long ago, or was it Target Center? Anyway, so that was that little story. They gave us tickets. Gave me tickets. We went backstage. We actually got on the bus with Suicidal Tendencies. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I just knew the knowledge? While he's handing me a Heineken beer on the bus, hey, someday you're going to play for Metallica. Someday. You know, you didn't know that then because he's still doing suicidal tendency then. First of all, how does he play his bass down there by his ankles? You know, it's crazy. But they were cool. They invited us on the bus. You think there would be a bunch of girls around?
Sorry to interrupt. He played for Ozzy too, right after, I think.
Yeah. So it just being on the bus, and it's like, well, we're going to go back to the hotel. You can either ride on the bus. It's like, fine, we'll ride on the bus. We'll get a taxi back or something like that. Didn't have Ubers back then, you know. So we got to like right down the road and we got off and stuff like that. But anyway, that was pretty cool hanging out after the concert. It was a great show. Megadeth and them. Megadeth was doing the girl thing. Suicidal Tendencies was doing hanging out and around their tour bus in the garage and stuff like that. But yeah, that was that little story. The Def Leppard, the Alice in Chains, once again being in the right place at the right. With this girl, the bass player, Starr, is that his name? Michael Starr or something like that? The first bass player. Started buying him drinks. And I guess she was kind of hitting on him a little bit. He was being very polite. He was thankful to her, but you could just tell he wasn't going for her. She decided to throw a drink on him right here in this club. And that's when I told my girlfriend, I said, I'm out of here. That's your friend. You better get her control. You got to realize she just threw a drink on the bass player for Alice in Chains. You guys are going to embarrass me, so I'm leaving. I get up and walk. I said, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to leave. I go walking. All of a sudden, they're coming right behind me. They took a cab to this place. I guess they just wanted to get out of the hotel. They asked me if I can give them a ride home. So they get into my car. I tell my girlfriend, follow me. We're going to go to the Waterford, which is a prestigious hotel that, you know, Ozzy would stay at. So she follows. We go there, and they go, well, hey, you seem pretty cool. That I could hear The bass player just mad because he's got this drink spilled on him. All he just wanted to do is come out for a beer somewhere. And so we get to the back alleyway. They punch in. We go through the kitchen underneath the hotel, and they asked me if I wanted to come. Of course. So I come up and hang out with Alice in Chains up in the hotel room. I couldn't believe it. Being at the right place.
That's insane. That's awesome.
Well, what's insane is you look in your rearview window and there's the drummer right behind you. You look in the rearview window, there's Lane Staley right behind you. And you're just like,
wow.
Well, and we got no phones. We can't prove it. Selfie. You got nothing. We didn't have that then. So going upstairs and then here comes Ozzy's gets Zach Wilde. He comes walking in. And I'm sitting there at the table, waiting, just like, this is fun, having beers. He gives me a Corona. He's carrying this leather satchel. He goes, hey, do you like a Corona? Hey, what are you going to do? Say no. So you have a beer, you have this, you have that, and you hang out for about 2 hours and do drinks. I remember Lane Staley, of course, what you do, you get a beer can, poke holes in it, smoking weed through the holes in the can, the Budweiser can, turned into a little pipe or whatever. I guess you couldn't take that on the plane. So he's just poking that hole, put a little weed on there and smoking that. I'm just like, how the hell did I get here? I just went in for a drink somewhere, not knowing that some rock stars were going to come in.
That's how that stuff happens sometimes, man.
And by the way, we do play your song is in our set, Man in the Box. So they thought that was cool. They were meeting. They were meeting somebody that has a local band, and that we play their song. That would be cool if I went to Idaho and met a band that was playing my song.
Oh, that's the ultimate freaking compliment, really.
Yeah, and so I guess they just kind of like me, and they just invited me up to hang out, stuff like that. Real quick, Def Leppard. We kind of had a little manager at one time. He was kind of fronting our demo and paying for the studio time. And he was a big Def Leppard fan. And he went over to Europe and he bought some black market Def Leppard stuff. He bought a box set, 4 CD box set, 14 karat gold, Def Leppard on the front. It was black. And he goes, hey, I've got 2 extra tickets. He called me. I got 2 extra tickets. You want to go? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, grab a date. He was like, last second thing. So we meet up and we go to the concert, still in the round. So we went to the show. And he goes, I know where they're going to be at. I'm going to try to get this thing signed. And, of course, I was riding with them, so it's like, let's go. They were at this hotel. They set up a little desk. And I guess whoever found out they were going to be there, it was kind of like a little meet and greet where they were signing autographs and stuff like that. Joe Elliott, the singer, had it set up in the lobby, okay? And he was signing autographs. I'm like, well, this is cool. First of all, the dude's tall as hell. I didn't realize how tall that guy was. And so we go in, he puts that thing down. Joe Elliott looks at him and he just starts losing his head, cussing, going, where the hell did you get that, mate? Doing all that. And he's just like, I got it in Europe at some black market store. And he goes, I told the record company we weren't ready to put out a greatest hits type compilation yet. We said we weren't ready to put that thing out. And he looks at him and goes, how many people are with you? There's 4 of us. They had rented out the club that was in this nice hotel. So the only people that were in there were the roadies that were in there, and plus the band and their wives. They invite us to go in, sit down at this table. I look at him and go, we're here 5 minutes and you managed to piss off the singer for Def Leppard, which we just saw in front of 15,000 people. Okay. What do you have? I go, I don't know. Obviously, he's pissed off about it. He brings over the whole band, sits down at a table, and we're just looking at them. They're looking at us. And I'm just like, oh, my God. This is incredible. But in the meantime, it's still the Phil Collins, guitar player's got his little kid on his shoulder in a bar. Got his kid on his shoulder. So I'm just looking at, and he looks at him. They were just wondering if there was any malintention, if they were trying to cheat him in any way. No, I bought it in Europe. I have it. It's a 4 CD box set. I just wanted to know if you'd sign it. They just wanted to make sure that this guy wasn't selling stuff. You know, so if I autograph this, you're not turning around and selling this. And so finally he gets to where he's cool with us. He looks it over me and goes, "Why are you being so quiet?" You know, as the cat got the canary, you know, certain British things. I'd like to do a British accent, but I can't. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. You know, first of all, I'm a guest of yours. I'm just kind of riding with it. He goes, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Joe." "That's my name." "Okay," so my name's Joe. He goes, "Well, you know I'm Joe." "Yes." He goes, "Well, Joe," he slams down a bottle of Jägermeister. He goes, "We're going to do a drink, Joe." So when the lead singer of Def Leppard hands you a bottle, what are you going to do? Not say no. So we're drinking. He takes a drink. We're all good. We're all getting along now. Everything's happy now. I'm wanting to look at Rick Savage, which is the bass player, and go. He's looking at me like I kicked his dog or something. So I finally get up and go sit with him. Their accents are so thick. When you're having conversations, it's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about your rig. You have that Union Jack bass," and it's like, I want to talk to you about that. It's a carving. And so me and Rick Savage are having a good time. We're talking. Here comes Joe again with, "You got to take a shot, Joe." I'm like, "Okay, Joe, I'll take a shot." Okay. So me and him are drinking Jägermeister out of a bottle. Once again, how do we get here?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. How do we get here? So that's there's more to that story. They invite us upstairs. So we go up to their rooms and stuff like that, hang out for a little bit. After I get done, it's like 2:00 in the morning. I go wake up my guitar player, and I'm just like, "You won't believe." I go, "Here, do you see these autographs?" "Oh, you got to meet Def Leppard." "That's cool." I go, "I'm a little drunk, Jeff." And he's like, "Why are you so drunk?" I'm like, "Well, Joe Elliott made me get drunk with him, you know." So because you're drunk, I've been drinking with Joe Elliott. So if you took 15,000 people, no, not you, sir, get to go get drunk with Def Leppard. Me, now this whole crowd, it happened. So yes, Joe Elliott. Anytime I have Jägermeister, we're going to play some Def Leppard. We're going to play it loud. Now I know that their music's gotten some. Yeah, they're still one of my favorites. So
I hear you, dude. Bringing On the Heartbreak's my favorite tune.
Well, when they used to come on, early 80s, Bringing On the Heartbreak, that High and Dry album, it's a great album. It's a great album.
And then the fucking song that it leads into, the instrumental it leads into, God, It just fucking rips. I just love it.
Just goes.
Yep.
So,
of course, I listened the hell out of my Pyromania tape got freaking abused.
I've replaced that. I've replaced the tape so many times. It's like, then I'm like, or CD, where the hell did I find it? Nah, screw it. Order another one. It'll be here tomorrow. You know, Amazon thing. But let's talk about some Iron Maiden. Dude, I want to hear about your fandom. You are, the thing is, first of all, here you go. Let's see if we can do this. What's that?
Very nice. Hail Trooper.
So we got
another one of these if you are.
Yes. Let's go. So I bought that.
That Trooper beer's, that's really good beer.
Well, I got it for, it's not open. I got it for, it's what you do. You go to the liquor store and it's sitting right there. I'm like, I'm going to buy that and I'm going to put it up in my liquor cabinet. And it's been up there ever since. I think it's 6-7 years ago. All right. Let's go Vikes.
There we go.
But anyway, the whole guilty pleasure. I can go, let's talk about your 5 pop bands. NXS, U2, Duran Duran. Who else? There's a lot of them. I guess those are my top 3. But then you go to rock bands, Def Leppard. Then you go to hard rock bands, kind of Skid Row, Dokken. I really like them. Then you can go to, maybe a more harder edge, Ozzy. So I love it all. Like I said, I listen to arm bands. I watched one of your videos. You were listening to Bob Marley. Here's to you, brother. Bob Marley is
Sure.
the shit. Bob Marley
Hell yeah,
is the
dude.
shit.
Peter Tosh and all that. Hell yeah.
Yes. So I tell people just go
And I
get
like
Bob
jazz.
Marley. Yes.
Yep. But then Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock and Chick Corea for jazz. Hell yeah.
Yes. So that's the thing. It's very eclectic. It's not just butt rock. You know, I heard Viking Funeral. That's what a person from the 90s calls our music, butt rock. And I heard him say that. So I thought that was pretty funny.
All I can do is feel sorry for people who didn't grow up when we did, because fucking rock and metal that's out nowadays, it's all freaking cookie cutter bullshit.
Yes. I mean, think about our time. You're wearing a Dio shirt. This week, Dio's coming to town. Yes. This week's Dio to come to town. In about 3 weeks, Judas Priest is coming to town. I'm just talking about. I'm just talking about back then. Let's go back to the 80s. Let's go to 1985.
Oh, back then, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, you got Dio, you're lucky.
Let's go to 1985. You know, I'm in middle school. No, I'm 16, so I'm going into high school. So think about this. Dio's coming to town. 3 or 4 weeks. You know, you got maybe Ozzy coming. Or then you got Iron Maiden coming. Iron Maiden's come to Oklahoma City many times. And you just think about the music. And then,
and you can't go if you're too young.
Yeah. And tickets were what, $15? You know, $12. I
had 2 tickets. I had 2 tickets for one of the last Kinks tours for the what's the name of the tour? The one after the big hit. The album after Come Dancing, the album after that.
Hey,
I forget the name of the album.
See that song Come Dancing. I remember when that was on MTV a lot. I actually kind of like that song because he finally cranks the guitar up right in the middle of it.
I know what it was. It was a song called "Do It Again."
Okay.
And that I had tickets. I actually borrowed money from a teacher in high school that had his own little loan shark service, which I think I ended up getting him in trouble for. But my dad was the superintendent of the school at the time. And I borrowed $30 from him to buy 2 tickets to see the Kinks. Well, I was only 14, and the only 2 people I knew that were old enough to even drive didn't want to go. So I had no way to go, so I ended up selling tickets to somebody, probably for $20. I probably lost 10.
Yeah.
And my old man's like, why do I have to give this teacher $30? Because he just told me that you owe him $30. Well, I borrowed $30 to get tickets to see the Kinks. He's like, oh, well, who's going to take you? I go, nobody. Obviously, it was a boneheaded move, but I really wanted to see the Kinks. But unfortunately, it never happened.
We had the 80s. Like I said, it's like 1 week you got this, you got NXS coming to town, or you got this. Everybody had their. If you were in the new wave, you had Talking Heads, you had Blondie, you had all of that. And if you were into rock, heavy metal, then the next night, here's Judas Priest in town. Here's that. In fact, when Judas Priest went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the next night they were in Oklahoma City. I didn't go to it, but I planned on going to it. So I let my tickets go, and I regret that. So Judas Priest came to town right after they got inducted to the Hall of Fame. I know that's kind of tape recorded, but the night that they played it on TV, they left wherever they do that show at and came to Oklahoma City and played. That's cool. That is cool. And guess who went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Judas Priest? Duran.
Very nice. Well, I'd say that's a good segue to wrap it up. That's a nice little circle of truth there. Let me wrap up the show. Hey, do you have any last words of wisdom for our viewers? And then you and I will talk after this. Any last words of wisdom for anybody, any kind of statement or phrase you like to share with people?
We don't have time for hate. How about that? I don't have time for it. So always
no time for hate.
No time for hate.
It's too much freaking work. It's too much work, dude. To hate, it's too much work to be angry. I agree, dude. Way to go, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching Lord Duncan's Rockin' World. We'll see you guys in another week. Catch you later. Peace out. And rock on, and the world will go on.
Hold on.